All right, hey, thanks for tuning in for this stream. I'm gonna just jump right into it. So drupal-rector is broken. Rector made some changes, and I've been pinged on it, and I haven't really dove in. But it's around the beginning of March 2023 this year, where all of a sudden there's a bootstrap file that's throwing an exception, like should not happen, and it's been intertwined with an incompatibility with PHP stand Drupal. Thing is, Rector started loading PHP extensions for all the extra goodies they provide now, like type specifying extensions, all this other stuff. But it was doing it incorrectly and not passing in the service container, which PHP stand Drupal requires for auto loading Drupal and all this other good stuff. Um, but I guess even then, it's still broken. Luckily, Gabor has worked on a pull request, so I'm going to dive into this. Pull request is open based off of some issues here, and everything is still failing in the functional test. This is the hard part, is it's not failing in our PHP unit tests, it's failing in the functional tests. So I need to review why. So if we look at these outputs, it's got all these rules, and this will load. Essentially what it's doing is it's saying it can't find certain traits inside Drupal. So let's see. I think Drupal's in the, no, it's not. We actually don't need Drupal as a dependency for Rector. So let me load up the code really quick and show what's happening. I cannot get these logs to show up. View the raw logs. Let's scroll down. It's still loading. I'll wait for that to run. But while we're in Drupal core, this is too far up. Let's go back a minute. While that loads, essentially there are several test traits or test methods that are in traits, and they're not being found. They're not being auto-loaded, which was the whole point of this bootstrap file. Because Drupal doesn't dump any of its namespaces for who knows why, what reasons it has chosen to do so. And the weird part is, this should not happen, isn't throwing an error anymore, but it's not letting us do the auto loading as would be expected. So let's see if I can find where the error is here. Maybe it'll be at the bottom. Oh, all right, here we go. Could not process assert link test. Method assert link was not found in its functional test. So if we go to tests, then we go to Drupal. Oh, functional tests. Browser test base. Oh, that's browser test base test. So that means we need to go into tests. Here we go. Traits, and if we core, maybe not. Browser test base. Let's just find this here. So assert link was not found. That didn't copy. Let's do a copy. Search, so it's not in here. Where's functional setup trait? UI helper test trait? No. Oh geez. Node creation, config, user creation trait. Let's just search for it. Unless it did get removed, and that's why. But no, we have this assert link, kernel test. Okay, so yeah, the kernel tests have it. Because I thought it was a... Oh, did that get removed from functional tests, and that's why? But that shouldn't be the case. I know it is in this trait called like assert content trait, but for the life of me, I can't remember where that lives. Trait, no. So I'm instead going to search for function, assert link, and see if I can get to the source code. Move the apostrophes. No. Function assert link. There it is. Assert content trait. So maybe that is true. Functional tests cannot have that. And that would be a big change that I'm not aware of, but this shouldn't be failing in this it shouldn't cause it to fail. Yeah, so assert, so this is, it's not finding the reflection, and assert identical should be from PHP unit itself. So it's not auto loading correctly. And just get declaring source trait. So we got to figure out why that's breaking in the functional test, but not in the PHP unit test. So I need to go read through all these changes and figure out why autoloading broke for, all these tests in the functional sense, but not in our PHP unit runs. So, all right, bumping to PHP unit 10, that's required by rector. Rector config autoload pass over bootstrap files. That could be a difference. I don't imagine it being one, but let's see. This is the difference. Why did we change this? That shouldn't be. We're not passing in paths here. We need a bootstrap file which executes PHP code. The autoload path scans directories instead. So why was that changed? Insert all string. Let's have Grammarly clean this up. Was there a reason? So I'm gonna start a review, and locally I'm gonna change it. That makes a lot of sense in our tests. Oh, possibly. Property. Where did all of our tests go? Oh, there it is, under deprecation. All right. Cache tag, rector. Let's look at this configuration. Configured rule, deprecation base, add class. Configured add rule. So, yeah, so we have no autoloaders. Let's change this back to bootstrap files for Drupal 8 and Drupal 9. PHP send ignore next line, PHP unit. Let's see, this just looks like it inlined some values. Oh yeah, upgrade. Okay, so cache directory had to move up into the root element. Get constant strings. I know I had to go through this with PHP stay in Drupal itself. I'm gonna come back to review that. And let's see, I can't push this PR because I'm not a maintainer. So that means I'm gonna have to push it to my own fork and then make a PR to that. I really don't like GitHub's. I hate pull request workflows. I hate that they're not collaborative. And especially times like this when one contributor makes a change, but it's not right, or it is right, but it needs like adjustments. It's impossible to contribute to their work. It's extremely frustrating. Maybe let's just do use bootstrap files. Still, now I'm gonna run the test. I didn't run the test after this. Let's do PHP unit. I'm gonna click run. Oh, default interpreter. Here we go. Click OK. Run. Let's see what the tests come back with. And hopefully they all pass. I don't imagine how the config setting up here would change anything. Yeah, parameter provider. Array. Yeah, so we got to find the Drupal root. Then we got to mimic all of Drupal's normal bootstrapping for the test namespaces. I can't remember if in PHP Stay and Drupal I got that fixed or not. Or found a better way to do it. But these look like they're passing, so let's go ahead and git push. I'm going to do a git push and see what happens. Nope. So git push u origin. All right. So I pushed it to origin. Create a PR. Update. Let's do. I'm just going to copy the same title. Pull request template. Edit. No. Whoa. I don't want all that. And this is where I don't know how to bulk delete lines in Vim. So I'm just, bear with me. All right, so expands on, doing 9. Yeah, I'm not going to bother filling all this out right now. So, all right, so I'm going to switch over to my PR then. And see what happens after this test runs. This is already showing an error. On my side, thrown in. Should not happen. What? So, okay. So they changed how bootstrap files work. All right, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. We can solve this. So now we need to go into rector source and find this out. So bootstrap files. Bootstrap file includer. No. So let's see. What is this error? Should not happen. The Drupal cannot access. So if not is set this. Let's go to bootstrap files, parameter set. Let's find all usages of this constant inside rector. Rector config, auto loading, bootstrap files includer. So I'm going to copy the reference. Error is coming from, well, let's just used to pass in. Let's see. Used to pass in bootstrap file includer. This doesn't. We need to fix the assumptions in this file. And I honestly have no idea how I got to that part before. To assume that we needed that. So let's just walk through it. So bootstrap files for each try require. This try require. Oh, we have it here. So let's see, change in this. So container, it now passes in as a global value. Why do they gotta change stuff all the time? And I can't annotate, so let's go back to rector PHP source and figure out when this change happened and why. So where is this file at? This is in source autoloading, and bootstrap files includer. Or what's additional autoloader? Let's just see. Yeah, this wasn't the right fix. I don't know why. Let's just add paths. Provide container. So bootstrap file, require once, bootstrap file. Bug report. So try require file. Oh, let's see. Something's open. The error seems to be in. Before this passed in the instance of itself. So drupal-rector used it to find the path to Drupal for additional bootstrapping. This changed along the way when PHP stand extension files were added. The current fix mimics PHP stands bootstrap / autoloading, but broke-ish how drupal-rector handled. Bootstrapped autoloading. So that's the problem here. So that means I need to go back to when that was changed. Let's go. Let's view the history of it. It's going to take me a while. Localize. Let's view this. View file at this point in history before. Actually, no, it's probably this file, this commit here. So include bootstrap files of extensions, packages, rules test, source autoloading, include PHP stand bootstrap, require once. Yep, this is it. I need to get back to that issue. I don't know why I closed it. So let's get back, reload. So what happened here is it used to just do try require once bootstrap file with the current context, but then it moved it to be called inside a closure, which limits the scope. Found it before bootstrap files were included within the scope of the class. That commit mimicked PHP stand to load bootstrap files in a static closure with limited scope. Okay, so that's it. Parameter provider gets the auto load paths, and it used to reach in to find the auto load paths that are provided in the config, which finds the Drupal root. So that means, I don't know. I guess that means I need to figure out where and when, how this locate start path, shift up. So shift up, if this file is inside vendor directory, it should be able to shift up to find it. Let's see and hope. So in this case, let's just change this to the current directory. Comment these out. And I have no way of testing this locally. Git commit AV. Use for locating Drupal roots. Problem stated on the issue. All right, so found it. Now I need to just see. That's right. I can't get push U origin. Go. There. Now it's just tracking my upstream. And when you look at the functional tests and wait for these results. If this works, that can be a good thing. I know PHP stand Drupal, for some reason, had to take in the path of the configured path. I'm hoping this works. Otherwise, we could read the PHP stand container, but the problem is PHP stand doesn't know what is being targeted. So this is already failing. It's failing with static analysis. Nope. Okay. Let's try to get the log output saved. So let's see this failure, since that locked up in that tab. Run. So it looks like it's running, or that it ran without erring about finding Drupal. Just wish the dry run failed. Okay. Or maybe that is the step that was always failing. Just go to the bottom. Why is this erroring out? Error processed with exit code 1. I thought that's what was supposed to happen with the dry run. Public stat from, yeah, why are these errors? These should be what is expected, unless our fixtures were also wrong. Yeah, I don't understand the difference here and why that's erroring. So I have a feeling we have bad fixtures or something else happened. Let's look at the static analysis real quick. It's PHP stand. No ignores reported on line 18. 18. Oh, was it read it in line? So let's delete this. I guess the locate root with the current directory is just fine. That could simplify PHP stand Drupal as well. So let's go back and look at a functional error for, okay, these are on Drupal 9.2. Let's go to fixtures, D9. Let's see, that's not going to load well. And set up Drupal. Let's just make sure this is right. So composer 9.5. So the chances are that this has been broken. I think the last time there's a release or work on Rector was in July. So I've got a high feeling that these are just stale functional tests that should have been updated. But that also doesn't make too much sense because Rector examples, it shouldn't run. Should it run on that? No, it shouldn't be. It should only be running, or yeah, Rector examples 10. Rector examples, file functions, updated file functions. Applied rules, 38 files would have been changed. Completed with what? Hold on. I wonder if they changed the return type. So matrix, steps, dry run. If exit code is equal to 1, then true, else false. So why did this crash? Or does dry run no longer return an exit code of 1? Rector, source, console, command, process. Let's set up CI. Nope, add CI workflow, that's not it. If inverse the error for CI if dry run. I could never. Resolve return code. Process result errors. Failure, success. Yeah. Debug. If exit code is equal to 1, then true, else false. And this is saying process completed with exit code of 1. That's what we want. But really we want 2? Hold on, is that new? Some system errors, else change code, exit 2. When did this change? Let's go back to the Rector source and see if that changed. I don't keep up enough with the Rector releases to know any of this. So source console command, console command, process command. Let's do a blame. I'm beginning to really like the new GitHub code browsing. Wait, blame. It's making it a little bit easier to see some of these things. So Jan 20, show different code found on fatal errors, and on fatal errors. So before it did failure, it just did success or failure. So we need to change the CI to check for error 2. And now I closed this. I want to copy reference. Error code 2. C. An error code of 1 represents system other errors. All right. So get diff, get status, get commit AV, dry run should return exit code 2. I think if I read that right, I'm going to reread it again. So yeah. So if dry run, if not inverse code, inverse error code for dry run. So if it's not a dry run, return success. If it is a dry run, return change code or success. Okay. So yeah, we want to check for error code 2. Apparently just doing -u isn't going to set that. All right, so let's see what the runs say. As GitHub is attacking my phone, I made the mistake of editing the GitHub app to send me notifications on workflow runs, mostly because I wasn't catching nightly failures with PHP stand Drupal. So I think I need to customize it because whenever I do work like this, it just I'm getting spammed. So let's see if I can get these to run or just work when browsing them without it crashing out on me. I wish there was a better way to do this functional testing. Let's not have that expanded. Let's see, I don't need to have both open. That's just going to waste resources. So check that example updated. Check that things match. That's good. I thought we stopped this auto import. I thought we made that stop happening. Words. All right, let's review this. So that's rector examples in D8. Rector examples, date time storage format. Use. Oh, let's go to the updated. Oh, it moved it appropriately here. So that seems like a good fix. Datetime storage format. So there's date and date time. What files are there? So we've got diff, daytime storage, daytime storage format. These are all the same files. So daytime. Second, I'm gonna make sure I do this right. Daytime date storage format. Okay. Daytime storage format. Not daytime storage. Not daytime storage time zone, though. That's interesting. Why not? Because there's no other... Oh, probably because there's no other use statements. So sure, let's go ahead and get diff, get commit A, rector, improved, new use, insert, new use, statement, placement. Sure, that sounds good. Let's push it. Second checking. Let's see, I'll comment on here. So one thing that's done is Palantir manages issues on drupal.org instead of GitHub for issue credits. Why won't I mean issue is into, I'm going to summarize it. I'm going to summarize all of this here. So used to have and scope so move to static closure, removing scope but adding PHP stand container. PR removes dependency on container, luckily passing. Whoa, that's not how you type the constant. Underscore dir to locate Drupal. Okay. Hopefully that makes it somebody else. I think I cleaned up bootstrap file within PR that removes the need for any additional context. Need to see if the same could be done for PHP stand Drupal, but that's outside of this issue. All right, PR is green. That means I'm going to actually review the remaining changes that were done and see if there's anything that maybe shouldn't have been. All right, so that's change 1 is the exit code. Change 2, we need a PHP unit. Change 3, no long, like The only problem is this could break for somebody. Only there's no. I'll just document it. This could change if this could break someone's setup if they had something really goofy. My F key doesn't work, and custom going on. So if somebody had a weird build setup, that could break. But I think we can only handle so much uniqueness. That fixes it. Yep. Extension base. For PHP stand 10, I had to make these changes for PHP stand Drupal. And I just want to review these. I'm going to make sure this stops indexing this directory. So it'll probably make this run a lot better. So what line is that? 44. So I get constant strings, returns an array, and get value. Just thought we had to do like a for each through it. Boolean type. Oh, never mind. There it is. It's in this trait. I don't like that my F key's not working. Boolean type. Get constant strings, just returns an empty array. So I guess this is fine. If we had PHP stand running on this, which should, oh, it's at level 1. That's why. Okay, that would throw an error if it was higher up. That's good enough. Yes, that'll work, because essentially it means if it's not an empty array, give us the value. Yep, moving all the data providers to be static for PHP 10, and I think that's the main changes that happened here. All right. On note, and I guess that's it. It should be fixed. Just mention it in here that everything's good to go, and that went quick. 44 minutes. I have a pending review. Is there a way to cancel that pending review? Say C for fixes. Whoa. Seriously, F key. Fixes required keeping the bootstrap files, but adjusting for rector's changes when including those bootstrap files, along with a change in exit code reporting for dry runs. Request changes. All right, so we got the PR there. I guess I'll do my part to make sure that this pull request is updated, because if this one's get merged, we want everybody to have the details. Fixes bootstrap file for PHP unit with changes from rector. So with this, rector doesn't need a conflict and should just work. And there we go. I actually don't have anything else left. Wrap this up. I'm about to go to a Milwaukee Bucks game in an hour and a half, so I think I'm going to cut this early so I can go do some normal work stuff but I just wanted to set aside time and finally address this because it was kind of just sitting there. So yeah, so I'm going to ping everybody, and hopefully we can get a release out of drupal-rector that solves this, and everybody can keep using it to automatically fix up their code. So thanks for tuning in, and have a good one.